Ever felt like you need a secret decoder ring just to figure out what's truly important in the communications? I don't know, a fast forward button for staying incredibly well informed without the overwhelm. Welcome to the deep dive. We take that huge pile of sources and pull out the most important data. It's your shortcut to being truly well informed. We're here to help you unpack some really fascinating insights today.
And for this deep dive, we're drawing from a really diverse collection of articles. They're curated by the Consumers 360 News Commentary Podcast, which aggregates insights directly from the Consumers.App website. We're covering, everything from how technology is reshaping healthcare in your financial future to some surprisingly simple, actionable steps you can take, like today for better brain health and physical well-being.
Right. Our mission for this deep dive is to explore these threads, from the intricate privacy frameworks for digital health records to the simple power of a daily mobility exercise, and see what they genuinely mean for your life and your understanding. Just a reminder, all the Consumers research content we talk about comes straight from insights provided by Consumers.App. Okay, let's peel back the layers. Let's kick things off by diving into how technology is, truly revolutionizing our health. And then we'll pivot to some really practical wisdom for your brain. First up, electronic health records, or EHRs, and medical device connectivity. This comes from a report highlighted on openpr.com. I used to think an EHR was just a digital file cabinet, basically.
Yeah, a lot of people did. But it's really much more than that. Our sources from Consumers.App describe it as a digital systematized collection of patient and population health info. And the key is it can be shared securely across different healthcare settings. This isn't just about going paperless. It fundamentally enhances healthcare. It enables powerful data analytics for, say, new treatments, improves quality outcomes, can even reduce hospitalizations. And crucially, it ensures your information is up to date and accurate, which fosters, really open communication between you and your doctor.
That sounds huge, almost transformative. But it also makes me wonder, with such a massive undertaking, what are the practical challenges? Getting everyone on the same page, getting these systems to actually talk to each other.
That's a critical point. Yeah. The research highlights that a big hurdle has been the lack of standardized clinical documents.
Yeah.
This inconsistency, it's actually slowed down the development of what we call learning health systems.
Learning health systems.
Yeah, essentially a healthcare ecosystem that continuously learns from data to improve care. The goal is consistency, better clinician understanding, simpler system development. But getting there, achieving that seamless EHR use everywhere, it's admittedly a long and complex process.
Okay, so the benefits sound amazing, but I can hear listeners thinking, what about privacy? We hear about data breaches all the time. How secure is this stuff, really? Thinking about systems like Australia's My Health record.
That's an entirely valid concern, and it's absolutely central. For public trust, they have to get this right. If we look at Australia's system, for example, it's governed by the My Health Records Act 2012. It sets up a pretty comprehensive privacy framework. The idea is to give consumers control over how their health info is shared. And there are strict penalties for improper use, emphasizing that need for formal verification, robust security, all to maintain trust.
Okay, so beyond my individual care, how do these big EHR systems help us understand health on a larger scale? Public health, for instance.
Oh, they're crucial for that. Absolutely crucial for population-based health studies. EHRs compile these incredibly rich data pools, demographics, medical histories, lab results, everything. Researchers can then run large-scale analyses. They can spot disease trends earlier, identify risk factors, and find insights that directly inform public health interventions and policy. So it benefits everyone.
And the devices, the wearables, the hospital equipment, connecting all of that into the system. Are there still big hurdles there?
Oh, absolutely. Significant challenges remain. Ensuring compatibility, true interoperability between all the different devices from different makers. That's a big one. Then there's maintaining robust network security for incredibly sensitive patient data. And of course, the cost. Installation, maintenance, upgrades. It's substantial. Developing truly universal standards so everything works together seamlessly, that's still a major hurdle they're working on.
So what this means for you is, healthcare is becoming more integrated, more data-driven. Huge potential, right? But it also means you need to stay aware of the ongoing debates, the developments around privacy, and these system challenges. Okay, now moving from those big systems, let's zoom right in to something very personal, what's on your plate, specifically for your brain. We're talking about foods that can actively tackle cognitive decline. This was highlighted by dietitian Lola Biggs in an article from Hello Magazine.
Yeah, this is fascinating. The focus here is on specific dietary patterns, not just single foods. Our sources talk about the MINDDiet diet, for instance. It cleverly combines elements of the DHH and Mediterranean diets. It really emphasizes brain-healthy foods, think berries, green leafy vegetables, while limiting things like red meat, butter, sweets. And research suggests it might be even more effective than DHH or Mediterranean alone in reducing cognitive decline risk. Though, it's important to state, direct cause and effect is hard to pin down. It's about risk reduction.
Right, risk reduction. And the Mediterranean diet is a big part of that. How does that specifically help our brains?
Well, the Mediterranean diet, with its focus on plants, moderate fish, limited red meat, healthy fats like olive oil, it's long been linked to overall health, lower risk of chronic diseases, and yes, including cognitive decline. Those antioxidants and healthy fats, they're just key for brain health.
Let's get into the nitty-gritty. What specific nutrients are really pulling their weight here for brain power?
Okay, specifics. Studies from Consumers.App really highlight B vitamins, folate, B12, B6, deficiencies in B12 and B6, and also high homocysteine levels. That's an amino acid linked to inflammation.
Yeah.
They're strongly associated with cognitive dysfunction. These vitamins are just critical for brain health. And they can even interact with genetic factors, like the ApoE genotype, which affects cognitive decline risk.
And omega-3s, still important. We hear about them all the time.
Still very important, absolutely. Omega-3 fatty acids, especially DHA and EPA, the ones you find in fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, highly recommended. They're fundamental for brain structure, for function, and their anti-inflammatory properties offer real protection against cognitive decline.
Okay, this all sounds great, but how do you actually do it? Putting it into practice, diet changes are notoriously hard, right? Any common pitfalls or maybe surprising ways to make something like the MINDDiet stick?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Consistency is the challenge. A lot of people think they need expensive superfoods, but the real power is in consistent, accessible whole foods. Practical changes mean adding more plants, more whole grains, healthy fats, cutting back a bit on red meat and sweets, boosting things like omega-3 fish, antioxidant-rich fruits, vegetables. The trick is small, consistent swaps, not some radical overnight change. That's how you make it sustainable.
Right, small swaps. So this means you have clear, actionable steps you can take, right from your grocery list, really. A genuine investment in your cognitive future. Okay, from feeding your brain. Let's switch gears to strengthening your body and securing your financial future. And first, some really empowering news for expectant mothers. This comes from Tom's Guide. A new study says strength training during pregnancy actually reduces fatigue and pain. That feels like a big shift from older advice.
It absolutely is, and it's great news. Our deep dive into the consumer's research confirms it. Strength training during pregnancy can significantly boost muscle strength, improve mood, increase energy levels, and really reduce those common discomforts like pain and fatigue. Doing this kind of activity, say 2 to 3 times per week, is proving really beneficial both physically and mentally.
Okay, but are there specific do's and don'ts? Things expectant mothers really need to keep in mind?
Absolutely. Safety first, always. Guidelines suggest focusing on major muscle groups, but crucially, avoiding exercises that put too much stress on the abdomen. And always consult with healthcare providers first. Make sure it's right for the individual situation. Other safety things include avoiding lying flat on your back in the second and third trimesters, using controlled movements, appropriate weights, and staying well hydrated and nourished.
What about the baby? And looking ahead, the delivery itself, does strength training help there?
Yeah, the research here is quite reassuring. Strength training doesn't seem to negatively impact pregnancy outcomes at all. In fact, it can lead to improved labor and delivery experiences. And it really helps with postpartum recovery, rebuilding muscle tone, even combating postpartum depression, thanks to those endorphins. Plus, it reduces risks like gestational diabetes and hypertension, helping ensure good nutrient and oxygen supply for the baby's development.
So for you listening, this really highlights something powerful. Taking an active, informed role in your physical well-being during pregnancy. It yields real benefits for both you and your baby. Makes the whole journey more comfortable, recovery smoother. It's proactive self-care with tangible results. And sticking with strengthening. Let's talk mobility. This draws from an article in Today. I used to think stretching was just for athletes before a game.
Right. The common misconception.
But now we see how crucial mobility is for everyone. How often do you actually need to do these exercises to see a difference?
Our look at the consumer's research points clearly to consistency. That's the key.
Yeah.
To see real improvements in flexibility. And importantly, in injury prevention, you ideally want to incorporate mobility exercises at least 3 times a week. It's that regular practice that maintains joint health, functional movement, which, let's face it, becomes even more critical as we age.
Okay, so what are the big practical benefits? Why bother adding this to a routine?
Oh, the benefits are pretty widespread. Enhanced joint flexibility, obviously, better posture, significantly reduced risk of injury. It also helps with muscle recovery after other workouts, improves your performance in those workouts by ensuring full range of motion, and just contributes to overall physical fitness by improving those fundamental movement skills we need every day.
You mentioned aging. Sounds like this is particularly important then.
Indeed. Yeah, for aging individuals, these exercises can be a real game changer. They actively maintain joint flexibility, prevent that stiffness that can creep in, and can significantly cut the risk of falls and injuries. All of that promotes a more active, independent, and frankly, fulfilling lifestyle for longer.
Okay. Got any easy examples? Something we can try at home, like right now, without needing a gym membership or fancy gear?
Absolutely. Simple dynamic stretches are great. Think arm circles, hip circles, ankle circles, gentle controlled movements. Exercises like the cat-cow stretch are fantastic for the spine. Deep lunges, again, controlled. Shoulder rolls, all really effective, minimal space needed. It's about fluid movement, not pushing into pain.
And is there a mental side to this too, beyond the physical?
Yes, definitely. Regularly doing mobility work can actually improve mental well-being. It can reduce stress and anxiety. That focus, the intentional breathing you often use, it promotes mindfulness, a sense of relaxation, kind of a mental reset along with the physical benefits.
So for you, this boils down to a simple, consistent habit. Builds flexibility, prevents injury, even lifts your mood. A low-effort, high-reward investment in long-term physical and mental freedom. No gymnastics required. Okay, let's shift gears one last time to your financial well-being, specifically making sure your retirement money is working as hard as it possibly can for you. Have you checked your pension fees recently? It's a question from an Indies article that honestly many of us probably just shrug off, but maybe we shouldn't. You know, I had a friend who found out hidden fees were quietly nibbling away at their savings for years. It was a real wake-up call to actually read those statements.
That's a story we hear far too often, unfortunately. And it highlights a really crucial area. Our deep dive into the consumer's research explains pension plans generally fall into 2 main buckets. You've got defined benefit, think older style. Employer guarantees your payout, takes a risk. And then defined contribution, much more common now, where you bear the investment risk. And your payout depends on how your fund performs. Fees in these defined contribution plans can vary a lot based on things like asset turnover, transaction costs. And they directly impact your final nest egg.
Okay, so if I'm listening right now thinking, right, how do I check what fees I'm paying? What's the first step? Where do I look?
First step, dig out your annual pension statements. Fees like management charges, administration fees, they're typically disclosed there. Beyond that, many modern pension providers have pretty good online portals now. You can usually log in, view the fee structures, and often see projections of their impact on your returns.
Okay, now the million-dollar question, maybe literally, what smart strategies can people actually use to limit these fees? Make their money work harder?
Right. To actively limit fees, you can look at choosing low-cost options within your plan, like index funds or ETFs, exchange-traded funds. If you have several old pension pots lying around, consolidating them into one plan can cut down administrative costs significantly. And definitely proactively compare fee structures if you're choosing a new provider or have options within your current one. Talking to a financial advisor can also give you tailored strategies.
But do these fees really make such a big difference? We're talking small percentages usually, right?
Oh, absolutely. They make a massive difference over the long term. Decades of compounding. Even a small percentage difference adds up significantly. Recent scholarly research confirms this. Management fees directly reduce your net returns, impacting your overall retirement fund value. Seriously impacting it. So when you think about withdrawal strategies later on, you have to factor in those fees.
And what about technology? Is anything new helping manage this? I hear about AI in finance all the time.
Yes. This is where it gets pretty exciting, actually. Advanced algorithms, specifically things called deep neural networks, are being used now. They optimize pension fund management by modeling complex decisions, like how much to consume or withdraw during retirement. Think of them like super smart AI co-pilots. They adapt to market conditions, your personal info, and suggest optimal policies. It's a level of dynamic optimization that's, well, hard for humans to match at scale.
Wow, a real-time financial guide. That's fascinating. But it also makes me ask, what risks are these algorithms trying to protect us from? And how do those risks affect the fees we pay?
Good question. Pension funds face a whole range of risks. Market volatility is the obvious one. Longevity risk, they'll risk you outlive your savings. Systemic risks, like big economic downturns, all these can lead to higher management or insurance fees as the funds try to mitigate those dangers. We even see examples like the Pension Protection Fund facing risks due to adverse selection in some markets. It makes you realize this is a universal challenge, and access to information is key. We even see tech helping farmers in rural China manage pensions effectively now using the internet. It just shows how empowering this knowledge is for everyone.
So for you, this translates into a powerful personal action item: being informed about your pension fees. It isn't just a chore, it's a vital, proactive way to ensure your retirement savings grow as much as possible, directly impacting your future financial freedom.
Wow, okay. What a deep dive today. We really covered the spectrum of modern well-being, didn't we? Everything from the complex world of digital health records and the amazing power of food for your brain to empowering movement for pregnant individuals and those essential financial decisions about your pension. And if we connect it all, the big picture seems clear. Knowledge really is power. Across all these aspects of life, understanding your health data privacy, optimizing your finances, being informed, empowers you to make better choices, to really take control.
So, as you reflect on today's deep dive, what specific insight really stands out to you? What small, actionable change might you make for your cognitive health? Or maybe how might you dig just a little deeper into those pension statements now?
Thank you for joining us on this really enlightening deep dive into these fascinating interconnected topics.
And as you go about your day, maybe consider it.
In a world just overflowing with information, how do you make sure the facts that truly matter actually make it into your personal story? How do you use them to shape your decisions for a healthier, wealthier, and, well, more vibrant future? Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep making those informed choices.